Hi, I'm Brendon Burns, and thanks for choosing to listen to The Guardian live at the Edinburgh Festival 2009. I've just been interviewed by Miles Jupp at the Gilded Balloon, and it's largely like when I got a harmonica for Christmas once. I didn't know I wanted a harmonica, and then I really wanted it, but then I never played it or learnt to play it. It wasn't just me. There was Pappy's Fun Club, Domestic Goddi, Pete Johansson, Alun, Cochrane, Rouse, and me, Brendon Burns. When I arrived, Miles was on stage telling the audience a rather ropey and potentially libelous joke about a well-known Hollywood movie star.
And that is how on set he got the nickname Baboon Shagger. They've got to keep that in.
The Guardian, live at the Edinburgh Festival 2009.
It is a great pleasure to welcome my first guest to the podcast. He used to be a geography teacher before following in the footsteps of Peter Kay, Tommy Tiernan, Dylan Moran and the like to win the coveted So You Think You're Funny award. Please welcome Rouse.
Good morning.
You were a geography teacher, genuinely?
I was, yeah. Trained as a geography teacher, and I did 2 days of supply work and pretty much had a mental breakdown. And thought stand-up would be slightly less stressful than dealing with 33 13-year-olds.
Sharing the textbook. Well, how's it worked out for you? Has it been less stressful?
Absolutely. I remember one of those days of supply work. God, I think it was ages ago. But one of the hardest things that I found with teaching that was stressful was having to be in a position of authority when essentially kids mucking around is funny, isn't it? That's why we muck around at school, because lessons are monumentally tedious on the whole, aren't they? If you're teaching children about rock formations and Hoyt's sector model of urban regeneration, they frankly don't give a flying toss either way, do they? I remember there was a fight kicked off in one of the classes, and I took the 2 boys outside, and meantime I was outside for 60 seconds. By the time I came back in, there was one little boy had completely blacked himself up with permanent Parker ink in 60 seconds, and I was supposed to tell him off, because I cacked myself laughing, and the stain stayed on the boy for about a month, I believe. I can't take those things seriously. I realised that I couldn't do it.
How much of that geography knowledge has stayed in your head? I mean, when you're walking around Edinburgh, for instance, Edinburgh is a role model for a lot of geographical terms.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, I've looked at Arthur's Seat, and it's definitely. There's definitely been some kind of an earthquake.
Yeah, that's
some point.
That's where.
I'll be honest. Most of the information has fallen out of my head. I think there's definitely some tectonic movement.
Plate tectonics. Yeah,
strikes me as I feel there's some kind of a geographical test coming up, Miles, that I might be about to fail miserably.
I can't believe how savvy you are.
I was
well,
I hope it's not capital cities, because I'm pathetic at those.
Oh, really?
My stock answer was look them up, otherwise if I tell you, you'll forget. Which isn't really what you want to hear from a teacher, is it?
All right, well, I'll just ask you a couple of geography questions. Because what is the formation, the castle in Edinburgh, and then obviously the Royal Mile? That's caused by a glacial process.
Yes.
What is that? A model of the castle?
Erosion.
Yeah. Or so, what would you call that?
The castle.
And the castle.
That's building.
Oh. Yeah, I'll have to cross that out.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. It's a crag and tail formation.
Is it really?
That's what you're dancing about. You were desperate to say. Yeah. What do the letters HEP stand for?
Hydroelectric power.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Best example of a hydroelectric power station in Britain, in my opinion.
In your opinion, which one is that a question? Which is the best hydroelectric power station in your opinion?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. It depends how you base your criteria.
I'll have to hurry you.
Pass.
Powys. Very close.
Very nice.
Rob Rouse, terrific bit of knowledge there. Now, it's 5 years since you've been up at doing the festival, is that right?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
What have you been doing in this hiatus?
I did a few bits of acting. I wrote some stuff. I had a baby. Obviously not me personally. I wouldn't be here. I would have split in half. But I'm just doing lots of gigs and kind of a bit of TV and radio stuff. And then I killed a boy. Then it all dried up, and so I find myself back here starting again. It's always the way, you kill a boy and then everything the phone stops ringing.
It's amazing how difficult people find it to forget.
I know, they really do hold grudges.
Well, of course, they do say, particularly to you, you should never work with children, but also or animals.
Yes.
Yet you've worked extensively with a duck.
I have, yes.
Is that a working relationship? Is that still extant?
Well, sadly, if I did try and do it now, I would be dragging around a rather heavily decomposed skeleton of a duck, which would look quite macabre and quite sad. But no, I made 10 spoof movie trailers with my pet duck, Shaniqua, God rest her soul. And
named for whom?
Pardon?
Who did you name Shaniqua after?
We just thought it was a nice... We live in South East London. We thought it was a kind of quite an urban name to call her Shaniqua. And she had quite a lot of attitude, and we thought that fitted quite well with the duck. And she was an urban duck.
So what sort of films did you make with your duck?
We made spoof movie trailers. We did Reservoir Ducks, Saving Private Duck, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly Duckling, The Duckminator, Duckman Begins, Rain Duck, that was my personal favourite. The Omelette, that was a lot of fun. In fact, actually, the Omelette's my favourite because it's very frightening.
Is it really?
No way, in a funny way. But they're all on YouTube. They're all we did them for Paramount. Then good fun.
Oh right, excellent.
But certainly working with the duck actually was quite easy. It was simply a case of leaving a trail of peas where we wanted the duck to walk to, and/or pieces of banana, and she was a one-take wonder.
Well, do you find, like all partnerships, there's a sort of the way a double act inevitably works out. One of them people can perceive as being the funnier one. How did it work with you? And
just a constant threat of a frying pan. Whenever she got too big for a boot, just show her the pan.
Oh, and what about your writing? I mean, would you write together, you and the duck? Was it an equal partnership in that?
Well, I would write and she would defecate onto the floor. So in many ways, that is a partnership.
Now, your show, Robbie, the name of your show this year?
It's called My Family and the Dog That Scared Jesus.
What, could you illuminate us slightly?
Yeah, well, it's essentially an autobiographical tale of becoming a father whilst being the owner of the world's randiest dog. And Ronnie has pretty much taken over the mantle of the duck, and we got he's a rescue dog we got from Battersea, and he's brilliant, but he's phenomenally sexually active, and it's something that has driven us in many ways to incredible levels of stress, but he takes out this sexual frustration, his expressions of love not on animals, but just simply on a red cushion. So much so he's actually made a hole in it. I'll be honest with you. This is what dogs do, and within the show there's
That's right. They make a hole if they want to bury their bone.
Exactly. yeah. Which we all know looks more like a lipstick. But if you're appalled, please don't come and see the show. You won't enjoy it. But it's a lot of fun. And there's family tales. It's essentially the struggle for power and dominance in our house between me, my baby, and the dog.
Who's currently winning?
Certainly the baby's winning. The dog running a close second, and I'm currently living in the garden.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Rouse. Alun Cochrane, the daydreaming comedian with a shed, will be here in just a moment for a chat. But first, a sketch, if you will, performing every lunchtime at the Pleasance Courtyard. Please welcome Domestic Goddi.
Hello, thank you very much, and welcome to Hot Gear. No, your eyes do not deceive you. She is here, she is in one piece, and no, she doesn't want to talk about the accident. She's the shortest shrimp in the world of shoes. It's Helen!
Hello, it's good to be back.
Suffice to say, you'll be keeping away from the stairs next time you're wearing your 3-inch platform heels.
Unless they come with orthopaedic soles, definitely, Jen, yeah. So this week on Hot Gear, we'll be checking out Malone O'Blanic's latest high-performance strappy sandal.
I'll be pavement testing a pair of Clark's XS35 boots. Will there be enough room in the back for my heels?
And we compare two high street versions of the Queen of the Going Out shoe, the Red High Heel. Now, whether you're going out to a restaurant for an uncomfortably quiet meal with the husband who disappoints you more and more with each passing day,
or you're out on the lash with the girls, dressed like a whore and trying to cop off with frightened teenage boys.
Nothing screams night out like a pair of red high heels.
Now, I'll be testing these sexy vintage Cavallis, and Helen will be testing those brash, overly engineered Kurt Geigers.
Well, we could argue all night about which red high heel's the best, but there's only one way to find out.
Yes, you've guessed it. It's a heel drag race.
Ooh, listen. to the click on them, that is magnificent.
And as I drag the heel on these, you can really feel the Italian soul-moulded technology. And I'm gliding through this race. Look, I can even do a bit of tap in these.
Come on, Strappies, don't let me down.
And the Cavallis have it. They are, without the faintest shadow of a doubt, the best red high heel in their class. That's all from Hot Gear. Good night.
Their show, How to Cope, is on every day. Get along if you can. Ladies and gentlemen, Domestic Goddi. Alun Cochrane is a daydreamer. It's on every night at the Stand. He's only bloody here to tell us about it. Please welcome Cornelius Lycett's favourite comedian, Alun Cochrane. Now, you're performing at the Stand.
Yes.
Right, you show Alun Cochrane is a daydreamer.
Brackets, at night, close brackets, because the show is at night.
Oh, that's about the timing of the show, not about when you have your daydreams.
No, I just daydream generally. I love a daydream. It's good, isn't it?
Smashing, yeah.
It's the only sensible course of action in this modern doom and gloom world, isn't it? Every time you turn the news on, the world has gone to pot. I think you'd be mad not to do what I do and go, really? The world's shit, is it? Fair enough. I'm going to look out the window for a bit. It's a defence mechanism, isn't it? I love looking out the window. How good's looking out the window? It's the holiday you don't have to queue for, isn't it? There's no baggage check-in for looking out the window, and no bill. It's actually free. It's the perfect holiday if you think about it. I love looking out the window. I'm a champion of it, and my show doesn't suit dynamic go-getters. So any amongst you who are frustrated by the idea of looking out the window, just don't come, because I am literally a man that can waste a whole day just wondering stuff. That's all I do, is just wonder stuff, like, when's it okay to eat bread with a fork? Because sometimes it is, isn't it? Sometimes you eat bread with a fork, you know, egg on toast, beans on toast, but not toast. You can check this theory next time someone makes you a slice of toast. Go, can I have some cutlery with this, John? Just look at you funny. What took so long with suitcase wheels? That's another question it's a good question though, isn't it? How many of you have got suitcases with wheels? Give us a cheer. Yeah. What took so long? That is a change that occurred in my lifetime. I'm convinced of it. When I was a child, suitcases didn't all have wheels. How long did the suitcase and the wheel exist separately for before some genius put them together? That was an extended bank holiday for inventors, wasn't it? What did the room full of prototypes look like, Miles? Did they just have suitcases with triangles on the bottom? Back to the drawing board, Barry. Did we really conquer space travel before we put the suitcase and the wheel together? Seems absurd. Surely we should have had suitcases with wheels before a spaceship. That would have helped them load, if nothing else. See? It's all about jokes deep down. I mean, I'm not sure about recycling anyway. I used to like it in the days before recycling, when the amount of alcohol I drank in my own home was a secret. Now the whole street just see a bucket cascading with bottles. My next door neighbour's looking at me, yeah, we've had a dinner party, Margaret, and she's looking like, you haven't had a dinner party. You don't like people. Oh, all right, fair enough, good point. Been cooking a lot. Unfortunately, the next box along's just cascading with corned beef tins and soup cans. Drinking red wine and eating corned beef sandwiches at midnight alone again, haven't you? Yeah, you got me.
Do you find then you're well suited to the life of a stand-up comic then, which can be quite a lonely existence? Or?
Yeah, I like it. I like sitting on trains and just thinking stuff and not having to speak to people. I like that aspect of it, and occasionally having a little chat and it going all right. I quite like it. I'm one of these people that is delighted if in a customer service exchange someone makes a joke and just enjoys a moment. And this happened to me, and I still get quite giddy when I think about it. I was about to meet my now wife for lunch. We got married a month ago. Thanks very much. No, don't bother, don't fake it. It's not my fault if there's a room full of bitter divorcees. I was going to meet her for lunch, so I wanted something to eat on the train, but not too much. And so I went up to the thing, and I said to the guy, how much is that slice of cake there? And he said, £1.50. And I said, how much is that Snickers there? And he said, 60 pence. And I said, I'll have the Snickers. and a cup of tea, please. And then as if to sort of apologise for not buying the dear cake, I went, sorry mate, it's the credit crunch, it's killing me. And he laughed and then just totally deadpan went, yeah, tea's £4, innit? And I went, yeah, but it's fine for tea, innit? Everyone loves a brew. And we just had this little moment where he made a joke, I accepted it, he stayed deadpan, and then I went back to my seat and just thought, oh, what a nice moment for that. It's just nice, isn't it, when someone in customer service shows a little display of humour and you then think, probably won't tell that as a story ever. That's what I do anyway.
I thought it was delightful, Alan.
It's a lovely moment, isn't it?
Certainly, well, just like this. Alan, have you had the time to go and see any other shows?
I've seen several shows. Paul Sinhar's show is very funny, loads of good jokes. It's at 9:20 at the Stand. Tim Key's show is great, I really enjoyed that. And everyone else's is rubbish. I think, I don't know, I mean, I've seen some others, but they're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Alan Cochrane. Brendon Burns is about to step onto this stage to join Rob, Alan and I with some charming chat, but before he does, please welcome P. Johansson.
Edinburgh. Look at all the talented people around this town, hey? Everywhere I go, talented folk. Everywhere I was up on the Royale Mile, is that right? Royale? I was up there and I saw this guy juggling. He was juggling 9 things, just juggling away. 9. Right next to him was another guy. He had like this ancient mandolin. Is that right? Mandolin had like 16 strings. He was bling, 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 just playing away like crazy. And about 100 yards down from him was another guy just tapping away on his arm. This town's got everything, man. It's beautiful everywhere I go. Like it over here. Ran into a Dutch guy, though. He didn't think it was so hot. He was bragging to me about the Netherlands. Netherlands. They're always bragging about the Netherlands, the Dutch, aren't they? He was telling me this. He goes, you should visit the Netherlands. This city is nice, but if you go to the Netherlands, you'll like it because we have no crime. I go, really? You've got no crime in the Netherlands? And I went to the Netherlands. I found out they got no crime because nothing is illegal. You can't break a law over there. Did you sleep with that 15-year-old? Yes, we'll give her a flower. That's a rule. Really? I didn't know that was part of the rule. A mild chuckle just to the right and then an awkward stare from everybody that finds that incredibly offensive right there. That's way too young for sex. What I don't like about the Dutch, though, is they're the only people that don't speak English natively that have no problems correcting those of us that do. Have you ever run into that when they say words to us like, I was driving a car. You know a car? Yeah, I know. That's one of our words. After a while, I like to pretend I don't have a clue what they're talking about. I was riding a bicycle. You know a bicycle? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, a bicycle! A bicycle! Whoa, relax. You mean like an icicle? No, I mean like a bicycle. Hey, easy. Relax, Hitler. I'm not German. I know you're not German. I know. I'm just a little stressed because I was almost knocked off my rally by this German driver. What is a rally? Well, it's like 2 unicycles with a bar that connects it. You mean like a bicycle? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. There's midday comedy if I've ever heard it. Cutting edge averageness. Woo! What a great country. Oh, boy, I feel welcome here. I'm from Canada, which is sweet. Look at the thrill in your eye when I mentioned my homeland. Wow. Yeah, it puts thrill in people, you know? Nobody knows what to say about Canadians. I get this a lot. You guys are a lot like Australians. I'm like, not really. Pretty sure my ancestors had a choice to move to Canada. Okay, you know what? You pissed me off. I'm going to tell you what I hate about your country. You know, you sit there with your mild laughter. You know what? You're not so special. You know what you do wrong? I hate your kids. I hate all of them. Your kids suck. You raised awful children. You know why I know you raised awful children? I was in London, right? And I was on one of those buses, and there's a kid in the back, and he was playing his radio. And I was looking at all these old people on the bus going, they don't want to listen to his radio. So being Canadian, my country, I walk to the back of the bus. I go, hey, turn off your radio, man. Nobody wants to listen to your radio. And I look around the bus to look for all the support I expect. Nothing. Everybody's looking at me. Don't talk to him. Why? He's going to stab you. What? He's 14. I won't be afraid of 14-year-olds. I refuse. You know what? They should be afraid of us. You know what you got to start doing in this country? Randomly attacking kids. You do. do. You see a kid standing by himself, pull over, attack him, stab him, beat him up, do something. They should think twice about talking to older people, you know? And if you're not going to hit your kids because you got laws, how about this? How about vacations to places where you can hit your kids? I mean, seriously, they're awful. Don't take them to Euro Disney. You take them to Kenya with a stick. All right, you guys have been great. My name's Pete.
Johansson. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendon Burns is best known to me as the man that spent last year's appearance on the podcast describing Britt Ekland's undercarriage in uncomfortable detail. He's back for a very limited run at the Pleasance Courtyard. Please welcome Brendon Burns. Brendon Burns.
Hello, Miles. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much for asking.
Thanks for having me back.
No, absolutely our pleasure.
It wasn't just me, in fairness. It was also Dan Antopolsky. And as Britt Ekland got on stage, we basically got a very, very nice shot from between her legs. Between her
From between her legs, or of between her legs?
Of between her legs. And it was all in really very good nick, I'll have you know. You reminded me, actually, of one of my favourite moments in life just now. It was when, like, you know, that little moment where it's a shared joke. And normally when I try and have those moments, well, you may have noticed, I just end up saying something grossly inappropriate and someone just kind of stares at me quizzically and walks away and I'm left holding myself. But it was at Legoland.
They let you into Legoland?
Yeah, I'm fun by day. I'm doing comedy for kids after this. I actually am. I'm like a great big toy. And I was waiting in a queue, and it was me and another mum, because let's face it, if you do this job, you work nights, so by day you become pretty much just one of the mums. And we're waiting in a queue. It was for like 3 and 4 year olds to have a go on a little mini car going back and forth, and it's me and another mum, and then there was this dad just yelling at his kid that was just trying to have a go on a toy. And he's there going, "No, Brian, like this. No, Brian, like that. No, Brian, you steer this way. Brian," and it's all anyone in the queue could hear. And I just leaned over to the mum and went, "Does anyone else feel like Brian's going to shoot his way through a schoolyard yelling his dad's name in 10 years? And the mum had this wonderful moment of and just she and I, while everyone else kind of stared at this weirdly and so on. It was a wonderful shared moment, and every time I saw her around Legoland that day, it was, all right, yeah. You know what, we might have kids, but we still got it. We still got that.
On the subject of thinking that you're a mum, I had a night the other day where I wondered if I was a mum, because my now wife went out with some other mums to drink wine and get drunk. And I stayed in and had a bath and a glass of wine. And just thought, I'm having a mum's night in. But I knew I was still a dad because I got out and just got dried normally. I didn't put a towel on my head in the mum turban. Didn't bother with it. There we go. Who else thinks they're a mum?
Mums.
I have the occasional mummy moment when I ring her up and cry. Anyway, Legoland, one of Berkshire's finest attractions. Brendon,
That's probably not what you expected me to talk about, was it?
No, well, I'm still, because it used to be Windsor Safari Park, how I'm on those days.
It's nice to see you, by the way.
Oh, thanks, mate.
How's your year been?
Oh, very well, thanks. Yeah, I had a baby.
Did you have a baby?
Yeah.
Nothing, no one
They're
cares.
lovely today.
No one cares. Well, the thing is, it wasn't until you went, "Hey, sorry, oh no, this goes out on radio, so now I look like a prick." Doesn't it? See, this is what you're doing as well, by the way, by being so polite that you don't laugh or react, and then we have to then tell people that this is happening. People at home listening in will just feel nagged. Because they're going, well, I'm not being like that. Why is he carrying on this way? This is what they say in Amsterdam, you know, before you get on stage. In Amsterdam, they go like, oh, you know what? The Dutch don't clap or laugh much. They're too polite. That's fucking rude. Right, sitting there going, no, I'm so polite. You're not. You're obnoxious. You are passively aggressive. You know, and it wasn't until Pete Johansson started insulting your fucking children and suggesting you hit him with a stick, you showed your true colours. I went, oh, yes, I am from the Goddi and I'm so right on, but I'd love to go to Africa and hit a child. You suppressed, twisted motherfuckers, each and every one of you. Anyway, come and see me at the kids' show and buy my fucking DVD. See ya, clap. A whoop and a cheer. They're so self-loathing. So self-loathing of a morning at the Edinburgh Festival. You can't come back at them with politeness, gentlemen. You can't. We've got to go out there and hit them with our cocks. Look, they're loving it now. Oh, I love a bit of cock slapping. Oh, God, this guy really hates us. This is awesome.
I can't really. This lady clearly doesn't like the idea of the cock slapping. Everyone else is well into it except for that lady.
She's riveted. No, look, she did the head tilt. She loves it. I've been watching Lie to Me. I can read micro-expressions, and she just did a little head tilt that said, I'd like nothing better than balls on my forehead. See, don't blink at me. That's just another giveaway. I went, this will mean nothing on the podcast, but I went balls on my forehead, and she went, I'm in Nirvana.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brendon Burns. Big thank you to all my guests today: Pete Johansson, Domestic Goddi, Rob Rouse, Alun Cochrane, and Brendon Burns. But now, here to perform from their show 200 Sketches in an Hour. They've been IF. Comedy nominees and winners of Chortle's Best Sketch Act. Here they are to close the show, Pappy's Fun Club.
We are Pappy's Fun Club, and we're going to be doing a lovely sketch for you right now about a 17th century diarist stripping. Ladies and gentlemen, Samuel Peep Show.
Hey.
Ben, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I've just seen someone in the audience I like the look of, so I got a bit distracted.
You should have said, well, quickly, do something to impress her.
All right.
Ben, wait, Ben, what are you doing?
I was going to pull my teeth out for her.
Why, that's not going to impress her.
It's romantic.
Oh, Ben, you're rubbish at impressing girls. You're almost as bad as Tom. Tom thinks he can impress girls by singing about the stuff he's found under his bed.
A packet of quavers that I never ate, half a sock and a cuddly monkey, a book on how to play a guitar that I never read. Porn, hard porn.
Look, Tom, come on, Tom, you're not impressing anyone.
What are you talking about? That was going really well. Wank pants.
Ooh.
They're there as well.
Tom, you can't impress girls by singing about your wank pants. And by the way, I do need those back.
Yeah.
Look, you know, we're horrible at romantic gestures. We're useless at impressing girls.
Oh, I remember now, we're rubbish at being romantic.
Of course, we even wrote a song about it.
Yeah. This one goes out to all the ladies in the room. That's right, I'm talking to all the ladies in the room. Even though it's too early in the day to be talking to ladies in the room. And the average age in this room is over 65. I'm still talking to you ladies. You still got some game in you, I bet you have. Ladies in the room. I didn't mean to be offensive there, ladies. Just saying, you still got it. Even at 12 in the morning. Ladies, listen. You know when you see a guy and he doing something crazy and you're like, what you doing this crazy shit for? What you acting all crazy for? Tiffany? And Tiffany's like, oh, I don't know, girlfriend. Don't listen to Tiffany. I'm not very good at doing her voice. She's very difficult to capture. She's from Leeds. Okay, ladies in the room, let's get back on message. You know when you see a guy and he doing something crazy, the sad truth is, he's just trying to impress you, bitch.
I'm just a guy who's jumping out of a plane, trying to show you, baby, I love you.
He took his parachute and replaced it with a dog.
Guess I struggle with expressing my love.
I'm just a guy who's chopping down a tree, trying to tell you, baby, I need you.
He's painted his dick purple and got down on one knee.
And does this mean that we can remarry?
Sometimes guys find it hard to show you how they feel. If we're doing something weird, it probably means our love is real.
I'm just a guy pouring salsa on a snake. I think that you've got really nice eyes.
He dressed as a donkey and lay on the floor by Tesco.
I wanna stroke your back and your thighs, your thighs, your thighs.
Ooh, we're not very good at gestures. It gets us into trouble. Ooh, when I try and buy you underwear,
I feel uncomfortable.
Ooh, why can't you buy yourself a present? I'll give you the cash. We can't avoid what happened to us last year.
I gave you gift wrapped sausage and mash, bitch.
Sometimes guys find it hard to show you how they feel. If we're doing something weird, it probably means our love is real. I'm just a guy using love, who's trying to explain. Do you think you could love a man who's tied his balls to a train?
The Guardian, live at the Edinburgh Festival 2009.
To be perfectly honest, yeah, I don't really understand many of I don't even know how to download this. I've got literally... what is it?